Karen Reed 2020 story gets mixed reaction. ABC's 2020 aired a segment on accused murderer Karen Reed last night that has drawn diverse reactions on Twitter this morning, despite initial hype as being a game changer by Aidan Turtleboy Kearney. In retrospect, Kearney has changed his story a bit, retweeting his lawyer's take on the matter. For what it's worth, having been involved in these types of shows, what you saw last night on 2020 was pretty standard. These are always fly-by-night productions and are meant for casual viewers. They never really get deep into the weeds. They often will feature relatives and supporters you've never heard of, or who may not be relevant to the legal proceedings. Having said that, it wasn't produced or edited very well, almost certainly confusing for a casual viewer, and they clearly avoided getting too much into the specifics of the defense theory. And although they did a late edit to include the recent standouts, the public should have been advised that the same DA's office, same local police department, and same state police are under attack for the atrocious Birchmore investigation. I think the casual viewers should have been made aware of that if you are going to address a lack of trust in the local authorities. Kate Peter reminded her followers who the real victims are in the case. This photo has been provided to me by the loved ones of John O'Keefe, with the request that we flood social media with his image. He is the victim. Just him, not Karen Reed, with her hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations from gullible trash people that fund her expensive dinners, hotel stays, tailored suits, and beauty services. He left this earth too soon, and if that wasn't painful enough for those he left behind, the harassment, disparagement, threats, and intimidation attempts ordered by Karen and carried out by a blogger and his mob certainly are. This is about justice for John only. If they get away with doing this to him and his family, you and yours could be next. Yellow Cottage Tales chimed in. Why did Karen try to say John's mom was already looking at her though she was guilty? I can explain. Karen called Paul and asked to come over to see the kids. But in the time she was there, she paid them no attention. She was present when 11-year-old Patrick came home and was told about John. Everyone tried to console the distraught boy, except Karen, who stood there watching without emotion. That's a story that will later be told, as Karen is getting ahead of it, as usual, with a lie. And the lie is demonstrated in the 2020 episode tonight, so that even if you know nothing else about the case, you can reason it through. Ready? Karen says in the 2020 that Peg made her uncomfortable because Karen knew she didn't hit John, but she felt the family thought this because of the broken taillight. However, Karen herself thought she struck John at the time. She still thought it 3 days later when she was arraigned. You can see Yannetti telling the court that his client had no intent because she loved John. But note that he does not say his client didn't do that, which he absolutely would have if Karen told him she never hit John, even if he didn't himself believe it at the time. If his client told him she was factually innocent and did not hit John, he would have had to tell the court that. He did not. That alone does not mean Karen is guilty, it just means she's lying to the audience. Note that she is no longer saying, as she did last summer, that she texted and called John while waiting for him, because she has now seen the phone logs and she knows that's not true. Did you catch that, Pink Army? Do I have to do all the work for you? We'll continue to monitor the reactions to the controversial 2020 episode as we see them.